To better understand the military power of both Russia and Ukraine, we can break down key aspects of their capabilities, including personnel, equipment, and external support. Russia's military power. Russia inherited a vast military infrastructure from the Soviet Union, and it remains one of the world's most formidable military powers. Below are some key elements of Russia's military strength. 1. Personnel. Size. Before the war, Russia's armed forces had approximately 900,000 active duty personnel and around 2 million reservists. However, Russia has struggled with mobilization, and many of its troops deployed in Ukraine have faced logistical issues, poor morale, and high casualty rates. Wagner Group. Russia also used private military companies like the Wagner Group to supplement its regular army. Though Wagner's leader, Yevgeny Prigozhin, and the group's status have faced changes after internal disputes, it played a significant role in various operations, especially in Ukraine's Donbas region. 2. Ground forces. Tanks. Russia has one of the largest tank fleets in the world, with estimates of around 12,000 plus tanks at the start of the war. However, many tanks have been lost in Ukraine, particularly older models like the T-72 and T-80. Russia has been forced to deploy older models from storage and upgrade them with newer technology. Artillery. Russia places heavy reliance on artillery, possessing tens of thousands of artillery systems, including self-propelled howitzers, multiple launch rocket systems, MLRS, and heavy mortars. These have been used extensively in Ukraine, often indiscriminately targeting civilian areas. Armored vehicles. Russia also maintains large numbers of armored personnel carriers, APCs, and infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs. However, the effectiveness of these vehicles has been questioned in the face of modern Western anti-tank weaponry supplied to Ukraine. 3. Air Force and Air Defense. Aircraft. Russia has over 1,500 combat aircraft, fighters, bombers, attack helicopters, and transport planes. The primary fighter aircraft include Su-27, Su-35, MiG-29, and Su-57. However, Russian air superiority has been less decisive in Ukraine than expected due to advanced air defense systems. Helicopters. Russia's rotary wing fleet includes attack helicopters like the Ka-52 Alligator and Mi-20 for 35th Hind, both of which have been used in combat. Though Ukraine's air defenses have shot down a significant number. Air defense systems. Russia possesses some of the most advanced air defense systems globally, such as the S-400 and S-300. These systems have proven highly effective in defense, but have not been able to establish complete air dominance over Ukraine. 4. Navy. Ships. Russia has a large naval force with 1 aircraft carrier, cruisers, destroyers, and submarines. However, its Black Sea Fleet has been severely damaged during the war, notably with the sinking of its flagship cruiser, the Moskva, by Ukrainian missiles in 2022. Submarines. Russia's submarine fleet includes nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines and attack submarines, giving it strategic deterrence capabilities. Missile capabilities. Russia has used Kalibr cruise missiles extensively for long-range strikes, along with Iskander ballistic missiles. Missile attacks have targeted Ukraine's critical infrastructure, energy grids, and military installations. 5. Nuclear weapons. Russia has the world's largest nuclear arsenal, with around 6,000 nuclear warheads. While nuclear weapons have not been used in the conflict, Russian officials have alluded to them as a deterrent against NATO intervention. 6. Challenges. Russia has faced significant losses in personnel and equipment, logistical difficulties, and low morale among its conscripts. The effectiveness of its military, once considered overwhelming, has been hampered by these issues, and it has struggled to achieve decisive victories in Ukraine. Ukraine's military power. Ukraine's military, though smaller in size and initially less well-equipped than Russia's, has been transformed since 2014 after the annexation of Crimea and especially after the 2022 invasion. Below are key details of Ukraine's military capabilities. 1. Personnel. Size. Ukraine's military had around 200,000 active duty troops at the start of the war, but its forces have since expanded through general mobilization. Ukraine can also call upon around 500,000 reservists and territorial defense units, which consist of volunteers defending key regions. Training. Western countries, particularly the US, UK, and NATO allies, have provided extensive training for Ukrainian forces, including Special Operations Forces, urban warfare, and advanced weapon systems. 2. Ground forces, tanks, and armored vehicles. Before the war, Ukraine had several thousand tanks, including T-64, T-72, and T-80 models. However, many were old Soviet-era tanks. Since the invasion, Ukraine has received Western-made tanks, such as the Leopard 2 from Germany and Challenger 2 from the UK, significantly boosting its armor capabilities. Artillery. Ukraine has heavily relied on artillery and has received numerous Western systems, including M777 howitzers, HIMARS high-mobility artillery rocket system, and Caesar self-propelled guns. HIMARS, in particular, has allowed Ukraine to strike Russian supply depots and command centers with precision. Anti-tank and anti-aircraft. Western-supplied Javelin and NLAW anti-tank missiles have played a crucial role in stopping Russian armored advances. In terms of air defense, Ukraine has received NASAMS, IRIS-T, and other systems to counter Russian air attacks. 3. Air Force. Aircraft. Ukraine's air force is relatively small compared to Russia's, with around 80 to 90 combat aircraft at the start of the war, including MiG-29 and Su-27 fighters. However, Ukraine has received drones and other systems that allow it to carry out precise strikes and surveillance, including Bayraktar TB2 drones from Turkey. Air defense. Ukraine has prioritized building up its air defenses with Western help, using systems like Patriot missile batteries, NASAMS, IRIS-T, and legacy Soviet-era S-300s. These systems have helped Ukraine prevent Russia from achieving full air superiority. 4. Navy. Ukraine's navy was significantly diminished after Russia's annexation of Crimea, where a large portion of its naval assets were based. However, Ukraine has demonstrated its ability to strike Russian naval forces using anti-ship missiles, e.g., the Neptune missile that sank the Moskva, and maritime drones in the Black Sea. 5. Western military aid. Ukraine's military power has been greatly enhanced by Western aid, particularly from the United States and NATO allies. This includes advanced weapons, HIMARS, drones, tanks, artillery, air defense systems, and precision-guided munitions. Financial support. Billions in aid have been provided to sustain Ukraine's defense budget and military spending. Intelligence. Ukraine has received significant intelligence support, allowing it to conduct precision strikes against Russian targets. 6. Challenges. Ukraine's challenges include manpower shortages, as it continues to mobilize forces to defend large areas. Maintaining the flow of Western aid is critical, and there are concerns about the sustainability of such support over time as political dynamics in donor countries shift. Comparative military power. Russia versus Ukraine's size and resources. Russia's military is significantly larger than Ukraine's in terms of personnel, equipment, and resources. However, many of Russia's advantages have been undermined by logistical problems, low morale, and equipment losses. Ukraine has compensated with effective use of Western supplied technology and tactical innovation. Air power. Russia's air force is much larger, but Ukraine's air defense systems have largely denied Russia air superiority, artillery, and long-range strikes. Both sides have used artillery extensively. Ukraine's use of HIMARS has allowed it to target Russian logistics effectively, while Russia continues to rely heavily on artillery bombardments. Asymmetrical tactics. Ukraine has effectively used asymmetrical tactics, like hit-and-run operations, drone strikes, and targeting Russian supply lines to offset Russia's numerical advantage. In summary, while Russia has overwhelming military size and nuclear capabilities, Ukraine has shown remarkable resilience, significantly bolstered by Western aid. The outcome of the war could hinge on continued external support for Ukraine and Russia's ability to sustain its offensive operations amidst mounting losses.